Can we talk about Gosling's performance?
It was iconic.
I think he was such like a scene stealer.
Did you hear how he got the part? So they were chasing him to get the part, and like Margot was really pestering him, so was Greta. Like they've made all the jokes about it on the press junket. To confirm he got the part, he sent Greta, I think it was, a photo of a Ken in the dirt in his backyard face down, and he's like...
Next to a dried old lemon.
Yeah. He's like, this
Ken
doll's
doll.
story needs to be told.
He said, I will be your Ken.
No, but the best part is that like he took it so seriously. He was in the most dramatic film in the world.
It was great. He actually never disappoints me. What about when he goes into like the real world and he starts discovering that that men, quotation marks, like rule the world. And he's like,
Men and horses.
Yeah. It's all just men and horses in here. I love this place. I'm going to bring it back to Barbie Land.
Really wanted them to kiss. Sorry. I know that's not the point of the story politically.
But it would have been nice.
But it would have been, there was no like physical touch ever. I was like, come on, have a kiss.
I think the world would have exploded if Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling kissed.
Oh,
yeah,
it would have just imploded.
Genuinely.
Too many good. It's just a black hole just swallows up our world. Forget Oppenheimer. That's
that's the origin of the atomic bomb. Loved it because, I mean, that was one of my favorite scenes because it's so often on the woman to take on the emotional labor of like fixing a man. It happens all the time. And so for that scene to just kind of be like, she was just like, work it out. While you, I am me. Sort yourself out.
She's like, we're separate.
And it was just gorgeous and I loved it. So applicable. Guys, sort yourselves out.
You're just sitting there on your Sunday hungover. You're like, I just want to see some kissing.
Just give me a smooch. No, it's a girl got to do.
It's not girl gets
Come on,
boy.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Girl gets vagina. Perfection of the Barbie land and how everything is just so seamless, shiny, and girls' night is every night and kind of innocent. And then transitioning into the real world is just such a metaphor for kind of going from girlhood into becoming a teenager and what we all go through, which is like being catcalled for the first time when you're like 13 or something. And you're like, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? Just such a good...
She went through all that in like the space of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's once you kind of start to go through that, you can't unlearn and you can't unsee those things.
And you lose that innocence of what Barbie
lose
World
that
has.
innocence and you when you're kind of sexualized for the first time. It was just such a good and important metaphor that I think that like a lot of young girls can look to that to kind of make sense of that happening to them in their... Are you watching The Godfather?
In the movie when we watched it,
this to you.
mansplaining The Godfather, and Bridie reached
so
over and was
meta.
like, that's you, Michael. And I was like, fuck,
Michael
what
was
am
like-
I? Like, why have I got this podcast? I'm just mansplaining
What am I doing
everything.
with my life?
Dead set. I was like, fuck.
Fucked him up for the rest of the movie.
And then I had a moment, I was
just
like, what am I
spiraling.
doing here?
I hate myself. Fuck.
If he could have, he would have paused all throughout the movie and just...
Wait. Did you see that?
Sorry, did you understand that one?
She won't be listening, but a good friend, a dear friend, Brooke O'Callaghan, I showed her Seven and I was like really wanting her to experience it. And she was on her phone and I was like, wait, did you even see that? And I like kept pausing it. And
Man,
she's
I do
been-
that all the time.
I know, I need to
just
stop.
with mates and everyone. Like, you're just like, give me your phone.
It comes from a good place.
And you're sitting next to them.
It's the
like
passion.
this the whole time?
I just want people to experience the same emotions as me.
Well, when we were watching Silence of the Lambs, I was there.
There's been a few.
Look, watch.
She's like,
That's
do
not
you
real-
get that? Do you get what just happened?
You to see my gynecologist.
The best part of the movie. That
So
was my
good.
favorite,
What did you guys think of
favorite
that?
line.
It was so good. It was such shock value.
I didn't know it was coming, to be honest. I thought she was going in for a job.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I know. Watching an interview that Greta Gerwig did for Little Women.
When
you
you're
know,
hard
at the
over.
end, it's not girl gets boy.
Yeah.
It's girl gets book because Joe's walking away with her book, and that is just as much of a happy ending as like what she calls like the visceral satisfaction of watching two love interests kiss. But like that's not what the movie's about.
And she did it again in Barbie.
And she did it again here.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's not girl gets boy, it's girl gets vagina and womanhood.
And Ken gets more Kens.
Yeah.
No, but it's
If
like
you
the
were a
pride
young
in it.
girl,
She's
like seeing
open
that,
about it.
open and
Yeah.
confident, you know, about your body and
Yeah.
your health.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's like excited by it.
Yeah, she's like, I'm here. I'm keen.
be.
What about-
Check me
and
out.
then the whole family being excited about it in the car as well.
Yes,
Even the dad.
darling,
And they're
you
like,
got
go
this.
get
He
it.
Yeah.
like starts speaking in Spanish again. He's
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
joy.